Hey, how's it going? Welcome to week 7, where we're going to be working on moving forward with our projects, our research projects. At this point, you've all done some thinking about what kind of research you might want to do, what kind of topic you might want to discover more about. And this week, you're going to be asked to really narrow that down, make your final decisions, and then just get started and start working on your annotations and getting as much knowledge as you can about the source that you've chosen. This is the point in Comp 2 where the class gets a little bit different, a little bit weird as compared to other classes because it stops being so much about everybody doing the same reading and doing the same thing and taking the same quizzes, and becomes much more individualized and focused on your projects. So you're going to see in the syllabus as the weeks go on, the reading is going to be getting a little bit smaller. You'll have less to do with your reading quizzes, and you'll start doing more discussion board posts, which we'll talk about today, and which will allow you to sort of reflect on your process. And really, the reading that you're going to be doing, the intense reading, is going to be your sources, the research that you're doing for your paper. So while the workload might loosen up just a little bit in the class, you are, of course, responsible for doing plenty of work on your own. But before we get to that, I want to talk briefly today about the things that you're required to do this week. So we're gonna get into your assignments for this week, and hopefully by the end of this week, everybody will have chosen a good topic that you're excited to work with, and you'll be moving forward with the research process. So here's what we're going to do today. We're going to start by looking at Steve Losey's Guide to 1213 Online Research, which is a guide made for us about using the library by librarians. Then we're going to look at the annotation template that's in your Guide to Research and Writing, talk a little bit about that. And then we're going to go ahead and look at how to access and use the discussion board, to how to start your own thread, and exactly what I expect from your discussion board posts this week. All right, well, this is Steve Losey's Guide to English 1213 Online Research with the Library. There are several ways to access this. You can either access it through the link that I have put into your syllabus, or you can, of course, access it through the link on Online Classroom. But it's important that you do. This is a really great guide, and it's basically an electronic version of what the librarians do for the face-to-face 1213 classes when we take classes to the library. So it's really important. I want you to read everything on this guide. So when you log in, or when you go to the page, this is what you'll see. You'll see the home page, and you can scroll down and read everything you need to know about the library there. But this is only the home page, okay? It's very important that we don't just stick to the home page. There's a lot of more other stuff up here that we need to read, right? So the first thing that you'll see up here is how to find a book. So click on that, and that will take you to a really good guide about how to find books in the library, why books are important, give you some search tips, some definitions, as well as an actual step-by-step run-through with pictures and links of how to use the BOSS system that we have at the Edmond Library, which stands for Big Orange Search System, how to locate books, how to check them out, and all that good stuff. So that's there. The next thing you'll do is click on finding an article. And just click on the heading there, and that'll take you to the page about different types of articles, how to find articles, how to deal with articles, which will be very helpful to you. Then you have a whole page about just the library services, the sorts of things that are available to you, and then some basic undergraduate library guides, which will open in another page. So do check all of that out, and you will be responsible for all the material on all of those pages in your reading quizzes this week, because they are absolutely important and will help you as you go forward with this research project, finding good, credible sources. The next thing we want to look at is the template for annotating that you'll find in your reading in your guide this week. This is on page 151 of your Guide to Research and Writing in Oklahoma State and Beyond. So what we've got here, and I just want to look at it on the computer screen really quickly because the text is a little bit hard to read in the actual book. They use green and black fonts, so the distinction is not necessarily as clear as it is if we look at it online. But I want you to use this template as much as possible. I think it's a great template. What you see here is a clear template for how to set up your annotations in MLA format. So you have at the top your citation for the source, and then it starts And you see the regular texted words are words that you would actually go ahead and use in your writing, and then the sort of faded stuff in brackets tells you what kind of information you would include about each of your source, and that appears in green in your book. So again, this is on page 151 of your book, but I wanted to just kind of point out the distinction between the text so that maybe that'll help you make more sense of this, because I do highly recommend that as you're going through and starting to make your annotations for your sources, which you can go ahead and start anytime you want, to go ahead and use this template. I think it's going to be very helpful and help you get out the best annotations possible that will help you through the research process to come up with the best argument possible and eventually write the best essay for possible. All right, and here we're going to look at how to access the discussion board and what I want you to do for the discussion board this week. So here's our home page for our online classroom. As you know, you're very familiar with it. So if you click on discussions, go ahead and click on it, and what you'll find is that I've opened up a forum called Required Discussions. And anytime we have a discussion board due, a new topic will open up in this forum. So the first one is discussion 1, which is going to be your topic proposal for your research. So I'm going to ask you this week to specifically propose your topic. I know you've blogged about it already, but go ahead and tell me which one you want to do. And then I'm also asking you to comment, to read on all of your classmates' proposals and comment on them. Just to support each other and be in dialogue with each other. I think that's important. So how you do that, you click on the top here, and then of course you can see the description again, and you just click Start a New Thread, give yourself a title. My topic works fine for this one, and then you'll just start writing down here in the text box, right? So I'm just going to write a little sentence, but I obviously want you to write more in your discussion post. You need to answer the questions posed by the topic, and then once you're done, once you've written out everything you need to write, what it is that you're going to be researching, what you want to learn about it, what you already kind of know, things you found out in preliminary research, and you go down here and you just click Post. All right, you can mess with the settings. Obviously, you'll want to subscribe to it so that if somebody comments on it, you know. So click Post, and that'll post, right? And so there we have our first thread. Now, in order to comment on it, as I want you to comment on it, you just click on the topic, right? And you click Reply to Thread, and then you can write whatever you want. Obviously you can go a lot deeper than I've gone here, but you can, just get involved, talk with each other about your topics. I think the more communication you do with people about what you're doing, the better off you're going to be, because you're going to have to explain it to more people, and that will make you understand it better. So again, this is how you access the discussion board. Give it a shot, play with it this week, and we'll keep working with it as the semester goes on, and let me know if you have any questions about it. All right, well, that's it for this week's video lecture. What I want you to be working on, obviously do your reading, but there's not a whole lot of reading for this week. But, check out Steve Losey's guide on the library and get familiar with using the library and start using the library. As you do your discussion posts and really narrow down what your topic is, then start using the library and finding some sources about it. Really get engaged with your topic this week, and get started on what you need to be doing. Go ahead and if you're feeling comfortable with a source, if you found a source that you really like, go ahead and start an annotation on it. Use that template that's in your reading, and get going. The earlier you start on this project, the better off you'll be. So I highly recommend that you get going on that. Again, as always, let me know if you have any questions. Shoot me an email. I'll also be engaging you guys on the discussion board and continuing to read your blogs, and I hope you'll continue to read mine. I'll see you guys next week. As always, here's your to-do list, and it begins with taking your quizzes. There's only 2 quizzes this week because the reading is relatively light, but that gives you plenty of time to be reading your research, right? So then you'll also be doing your discussion board post and responding to one of your classmates' discussion board posts. Don't forget to do that, and then you'll also always, of course, blog your 250 words. Again, we can go back to blogging about anything you want this week, and then get researching, get started, get going. Get excited, get thinking about this stuff, and as you do that, of course, feel free to go ahead and begin moving forward and start working on your early annotations. The sooner you get started, the better off you'll be. So let me know if you have any questions. I'll talk to you all next week.